Hi. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Time Out Over Time on the Time Out Over Time YouTube channel. Direct from the Frank Beck Chevrolet Studio Annex. So I guess that makes it official out there. This is another edition of Time Out Over Time on the Time Out Over Time YouTube channel, as I just said. From the Frank Beck Chevrolet Studio Annex, I'm Rick Arsenal, and if you haven't done so yet, please get down there in the corner and smash that like and subscribe button. Thank you very much. I trust everybody had a good weekend on this. What is a very, what is this weather suck or what? Blustery, cold, spitting snow in the air, gray, gloomy Monday. Filled the gas tank today and darn near froze to death. I mean, this is, they're playing baseball up here. They're supposed to be playing baseball up here in what, 11 days? I can't imagine going to the ballpark and sitting there for 2.5 and 3 hours in this and when watching a game. I don't care who's playing or what the deal is, but I'm sorry, I don't want any part of that. That's why if I do go to a game, it's usually somewhere in the middle or at the end of May before I ever go to any baseball game. Anyway, let's do this for our sponsors, and then I'll try to get you caught up on everything that transpired over the weekend. How's that? March is truck month at Frank Beck Chevrolet. And right now you get 2.9% financing for 72 months on select Silverado 1500s. $3,000 bonus cash on all remaining 2024 Suburbans and Tahoes. $1,000 bonus cash on 2025 Blazers, Colorados, and Trailblazers. You get in there and see one of their crack salesmen. Remember their sales team. They'll give you all the details. This is an offer you don't want to pass up. March truck month at Frank Beck Chevrolet. And while we're at it, please don't forget the annual Maggie Fries Scholarship Breakfast. Pardon me, will be on Saturday, April the 12th from 8 to 11 in Beck's showroom. You can enjoy a pancake and sausage breakfast. All for a donation. Proceeds will benefit the Maggie Fries Scholarship Fund, helping area nurses. Andy and I and Jed will be out there doing our Time On show from 9 to 10. Saturday morning, April the 12th, from 8 to 11 in the Frank Beck Chevrolet showroom. You can enjoy a great sausage and pancake breakfast. Get there early enough to get a sweet roll or donut from Ethan's Bakery here. So be a good time. It always is. And like I said, do whatever you have to do. Put it in your phone or put a big circle around April the 12th on the calendar. Of course, that's the day before Palm Sunday. So that should make it easy to remember. But I want to see you all out there. No excuses. I believe this is the 4th or 5th annual Maggie Fry Scholarship Breakfast. Saturday, April the 12th, Frank Beck Chevrolet showroom from 8 to 11. No excuses. Want to see you all out there. Together, let's drive Chevy. Chevy drive Southern Michigan. Frank Beck Chevrolet is indeed, no question about it, the #1 Chevrolet dealer in the tri-state area. We're also brought to you in part by Barrett Insurance on the corner of US 12 and M99 in Jonesville. That's barrettins.com. Protecting your dreams. 517-849-1000. Again, on the corner of US 12 and M99 in Jonesville. barrettins.com. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. All right. So, Michigan and Michigan State are both in the Sweet 16. They're both one win away from meeting for a third time this year, and that would be an Elite Eight game for the right to go to the Final Four at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio on first weekend in April. Michigan was behind at half, and in fact, at one point, I think they were behind by 9 or 10 points to Texas Tech. Not Texas Tech. I'm sorry, they're still alive yet. Texas A&M. There are too many schools in Texas. So the Wolverines have eliminated Texas A&M. Texas Tech is still alive yet. I'll get to that in just a second here. But so they're both playing Friday. MSU is up first. They will be playing Ole Miss on Friday night. Like I said, in Atlanta, and that game will start at 7:09. 7:09 starting time for Michigan State and Ole Miss in Atlanta Friday night. That game will be followed by the Michigan Auburn game. Of course, Auburn, number one seed under Auburn. Do the Wolverines have a shot of beating Auburn, taking out Auburn for the right to play? More than likely, Michigan State. I think if they play Friday like they did in the second half, or maybe the last 15 minutes of that second half against Texas A&M, I think they have a legitimate shot at taking out Auburn. And Dusty May, who would have thought this? I'll be eating crow. I have been eating crow ever since I predicted that several weeks ago now, that the Wolverines would not win another game. That shows you what I know, I guess, doesn't it? Yeah, like they say, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And boy, they've been playing good defense, taking care of the ball a little bit better, cut down on the turnovers, making free throws, playing, like I said, playing good defense. Looks like a completely different team than the one that finished the regular season, doesn't it? Anyway, we'll see. I mean, it depends on the two big men down low too. If they can find a way to to score, keep doing what they've been doing. I don't know. Last time I looked, what was I believe the Wolverines are about 7.5 point dogs right now to Auburn. That to me, that sounds about right. Michigan State going to be playing Ole Miss, and they are like 2.5 point favorites to beat Ole Miss on Friday. So, would you like to see? Ask yourself, would you like to see them meet? And it would be on Sunday afternoon down there for in an Elite Eight game for the right to go to the Final Four the following weekend in San Antonio. I'd love to see it. I don't know about you, but yeah, I'd like nothing better than to see that. And of course, when Michigan takes the floor about 9:30 Friday night, they're already going to know whether or not they're playing Ole Miss or Michigan State. I remember Ole Miss is 6th ranked team in this region, South region. Pardon me. Stop to think too. Hey, this has been a great year for basketball, hasn't it? In our area, as good as the Pistons have been, they got their 40th win yesterday. Imagine that, their 40th win. They're 40-32. They've got 10 games left. They're in the 6th seed in the East. They're game behind Milwaukee in the 5th seed. They're game behind Indiana for the 4th seed. We talked about this before. The Pacers finished with back-to-back games against Cleveland. I think there's a game in between that, and the Pistons finished with back-to-back games against the Bucks. I think that's obviously going to decide everything. Next up for the Pistons, they've got the Spurs, San Antonio in there tomorrow night. It's a game they should win. It's a game they're favored to win. So get win number 41 tonight. Who would have thought this? For a team that only won, 14 games last year, a turnaround like this is absolutely incredible. Same thing for Michigan. They won 8 games all last year? So Friday night, we'll be pulling. We'll be pulling for the Spartans and the Wolverines because we want to see them in an Elite Eight game. Well, I'd love to see that. It'd be great for the state of Michigan, wouldn't it? Looking at the remaining Sweet 16 brackets here. Let's look at the South first, where the Michigan and Michigan State are. The South bracket, Sweet 16. So 4 different venues. You've got 4 teams left. First game up, Friday night, Michigan State will take on Ole Miss. The official starting time is 7:09 for that game. I don't know who comes up with these starting times. Immediately after that, this says 9:39. Michigan will take on Auburn. Okay. Looking at the other 3 regions in the West, number 1 Florida will be taking on Maryland, while number 3 Texas Tech will be playing number 10 Arkansas, Tennessee team. A little bit surprised to see Arkansas beat St. John's Saturday. I picked St. John's to win the whole thing. Every one of the players on the Arkansas team was bought and paid for by Walmart. Sam Walton, of course, is the Walton, the founder of Walmart. And their headquarters are in Arkansas, and they're big backers. Walmart is big backers of the Arkansas basketball team. So, like I said, you think these players for Arkansas are bought and paid for by Walmart. Anyway, so to look at the West again, number 1 Florida takes on number 4 Maryland. One of the 4 remaining, you've got 4 remaining Big Ten teams among the Sweet 16. Of course, Michigan and Michigan State, Maryland, and Purdue. I'll get to that in just a second. Number 1 Florida against number 4 Maryland, and number 3 Texas Tech taking on number 10 Arkansas, 10th seeded Arkansas in the West. Looking in the East region, top seeded Duke, number 1 Duke takes on number 4 Arizona, while number 6 BYU plays number 2 Alabama. That's in the East. And lastly, in the Midwest, you've got the top seed Houston team taking on the other Big Ten team, the 4th Big Ten team, 4th seeded Purdue. And lastly, you've got the 3rd seed Kentucky Wildcats taking on the 2nd seed Tennessee Volunteers. So just to review, the 16 teams left: Auburn, Michigan State, Michigan, Ole Miss, Florida, Maryland, Texas Tech, Arkansas, Duke, Arizona, BYU, Alabama, Houston, Purdue, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Those are your 16 teams left in the NCAA tournament. Hockey, as far as hockey goes, aside from the fact that the Red Wings suck right now, I'm not going to say a whole lot about them. I'll wait till postmortem on that I'll wait till they get officially eliminated from the playoffs, and they will be in the not too distant future. I looking at the last 3 years in the month of March. Of course, we still have a few days left in March this year yet. So you want to look back at the last 3 years. The Wings have played a total in the month of March. They played a total of 39 games. March of 23, March of 24, now March of 39 games. That's a possible 78 points. Out of that possible 78 points, folks, the Wings have 23. 23 out of a possible 78 points in the month of March, the last 3 seasons, with 8 regulation wins. The way this team looks like right now, I don't possibly see them even winning another game, and I think I'll be surprised if they do. But I'll wait, and we'll do a postmortem on the Wings when it's all said and done, and they're done, they're finished. Tigers are in San Francisco, where they will play 2 more exhibitions, one tonight, one tomorrow night, before flying down to L.A. They will have a workout at Dodger Stadium on Wednesday. Of course, they'll be opening the season on Thursday night. Turk Skubal pitching on the mound for the Tigers against former Cy Young Award winner Blake Snell for the Dodgers. That's the only matchup. That's the only opening day matchup in Major League Baseball this year that has 2 former Cy Young Award winners going head-to-head. Probably be the feature game of the day on Thursday. It has to be with a matchup like Blake Snell against Turk Skubal. No. The Tigers, in a minor deal, the Tigers did pick up an outfielder Manuel Margot, Margot, I believe. That's how he pronounces it. They had to do something because they were short on outfielders with Verling and Parker Meadows still being on the shelf yet. In case you missed it over the weekend, uh, AJ Hinch said it's a good four weeks yet before Parker Meadows could maybe even think about start throwing. He's doing everything else right now. He's doing everything that he has to do except throwing. He's not throwing a baseball right now. 4 weeks. So that takes us almost to the 1st of May, but he's not going to start playing right away. You're looking at maybe a 2-week rehab. I think the best case scenario for him would be maybe a little bit after Mother's Day, somewhere in that like that. 3 games in LA, and then 3 in Seattle before they come home for the home opener a week from Friday, April the 4th against the White Sox. 6 games out there. I think the best case scenario would be come back with 2 wins, maybe 2-4. Might be asking for a little bit too much to have them go 3-3 out there, but anything less than 2-4, you come back 0-6 or 1-5, and you've already dug yourselves a hole. No, brutal schedule first part of the season. So anyway, baseball is back. We'll have it back on Thursday. Starting time for that game here will be 7:10, obviously 4:10 out in LA. So Tigers, Dodgers, Thursday. Skubal against Snell. You ready for baseball? You ready for opening day? The weatherman, is it? He's not cooperating, is he? Okay, let me do this for Tim Lindley at Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale. If it wasn't for his assistance, we wouldn't be doing this right now. 37 Waldron Street, directly across the street from Fat Jack's Automotive, a couple hundred feet west of Howell Street. 517-610-5372. Any technical issues you may have at all, this is the guy you want to see. Get in there and see Tim or one of his staff. They're more than capable of solving any issues you've got. Computers that were used, maybe in the computer you have now, pardon me, needs a little work done on it. Flat screen TV, mounting, programming, setup. Perhaps you're changing internet providers. You need that installed. Printers you use, anything at all. Get in there and see Tim. And this is the only person in our area that's most knowledgeable when it comes to technical issues. We're lucky to have someone like him in our area here. 517-610-5372, 37 Walden Street, downtown Hillsdale, across the street from Fat Jack's Automotive. Get in there and see Tim. When you do, tell him Miggy Me sent you. Will you please? Thank you. I was looking at some mock drafts today. Of course, it's not that far off. Thursday night, 3 days after Easter? Thursday night, the 24th, 4 days after Easter, I'm sorry, April 24th, in Green Bay. And I'm not going to go through the whole roster, all 32 teams, but it did pick out 4 writers who, doing their mocks, who they thought the Lions would be selecting with that 28th pick. They could move up, they could trade down, but right now at the 28th pick, who these writers think that they've mocked the Lions to take with pick number 28. Pete Prisco of CBS Sports has them selecting with pick number 28, Donovan Jackson, offensive lineman, Ohio State. Ben Standig, Standig of The Athletic, has him with that 28th pick, has them taking James Pierce Jr., the edge out of Tennessee. I've seen that name mocked a lot. Mike Schwartz has them taking Kenneth Grant, the defensive lineman out of Michigan. You probably see his name mocked at the Lions a lot with that 28th pick. Kenneth Grant, defensive lineman out of Michigan, and Daniel Harms, Harms, from the Draft Network, has them taking Mike Green, the edge out of Marshall. Now, let's look at Mike Green. I don't think will be there at 28. I just don't see it. his draft stock seems to be rising a lot recently, and I just don't see. I don't see Mike Green with his 17 and a half sacks this past year for Marshall. I don't see him being there at 28. Kenneth Grant, that's tough. His stock keeps rising too. It's tough to imagine him being there at 28. You know, with some of these picks, if you're Brad Holmes, you might have to move up a few spots if you want a shot at these guys. As far as James Pierce Jr. goes, I think he'll be there at 28. And Donovan Jackson, the offensive lineman out of Ohio State, if he's there, that's the guy I'm predicting that the Lions will take with the 28th pick, provided they stay at 28. Donovan Jackson, the offensive lineman out of Ohio State. The heir apparent to Kevin